right, very good. Well, hey, good morning. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. First, let me say good morning to all of you, to all that have gathered here today, our elected and appointed officials, department heads, co-workers, and most importantly, our citizens. I thank each of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us today, whether you are online or in person. Again, I say thank you for being with us this morning. On Friday, January 30th of last year, I raised my right hand in this very room and took an oath to serve the people of Williamsburg County to the very best of my ability. I say to you today that the oath that I took that day is as important to me today as it was that last Friday morning of December of last year. We have not spoken publicly since then about the condition of the county, and I wanted to take this opportunity to speak with you today as we approach our 100th day in office. First, I want to thank the members of Williamsburg County Council, all elected and appointed officials, and the employees of Williamsburg County for the great work that each and every one of you all do. These men and women work very hard each day to keep this county moving forward, and I'm grateful to each of you for your service to the citizens of Williamsburg County. Second, I learned from a former bishop of the AME Church that you should never build your foundation on the grave of your predecessor. So I want to let everyone know up front today that that's not what we're going to be doing. But I will be letting you know as best I can what we found here when we arrived, and most importantly, what we've done to correct those things and how we plan to move the county forward. First and foremost, there are three issues that I must address. These issues have been circulating around in the community, and I want to address these things today. When we arrived here on January 3rd, we were made aware that there was an issue within our water department. The issue was that there was an allegation that there were monies missing from that department. Although this situation took place before I arrived, we had to deal with it on our first day. That situation has been turned over to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, and we are awaiting the findings of their investigation. In addition to that, there were some discrepancies that were found within our payroll department. Those things were also brought to our attention. There were some employees, some department heads, and some elected officials that had been authorized by the previous administration to receive additional funds that were not a part of their base salaries. We immediately brought this to County Council's attention, and it was discovered the County Council had no knowledge of this authorization or that these individuals were receiving these funds. After meeting with legal counsel and County Council, it was determined that these funds should be stopped immediately. Due to the amounts of some of these additional funds, it was determined that this process should be turned over to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division as well. We're also awaiting the findings of their investigation into this matter as well. In addition, the federal government awarded Williamsburg County $5.9 million between 2021 and 2022 through the American Rescue Plan Act. To date, all of these funds have been spent and or obligated to projects. These funds were either spent or obligated prior to me arriving here in January. There were no American Rescue Plan funds left for this administration. We immediately, as soon as we got here, did an overview of the county's finances, and it was quickly determined that we needed to implement a spending freeze and a hiring freeze. We are still currently operating under both restrictions and monitoring our finances extremely close. We have an enormous amount of overdue bills, and we are working very hard each day to get them paid as quickly as we can. It was also brought to our attention on our first day here that the funding that we received from the state had been frozen because we had not submitted our audit on time again. We immediately went into action to get the audit completed and have been working extremely hard to get it completed. We're hoping to have it done within the next 30 to 45 days. Hopefully, it will be sooner. Our staff, our team is committed to making sure that the next audit will be on time. I would also like to add that we are fighting through an unsuccessful attempt in changing our financial software systems. A new financial software system was purchased a few years ago, and it has made tracking our finances very, very difficult. This has also complicated the audit process. We've already began the process of remedying this situation where all of us will be on the same system again, and we can communicate with each other more smoothly. Most importantly, it will help resolve some of the current issues within our financial system. Now, one of our campaign pledges was to address the limited hours that our recycling centers are open. And it was my intent to address this issue early on in our administration. But because of our financial challenges, we have been forced to address this issue later on in the new budget. It is our plan to extend the hours of all of our recycling centers July 1 of this year. I do want to thank the citizens of Williamsburg County for your continued patience and your understanding with this issue. In January of this past year, we also hosted Williamsburg County's first city-county supper. We created this event to allow all elected and appointed officials on our local and state levels to come together as one unified group to discuss how we can move our county forward. We all realize and agree that if one of us is successful, then all of us are successful. Our first speaker for this event was the Honorable Harry Lightsey, the Secretary of Commerce for the state of South Carolina. The Commerce Department in South Carolina influences a lot of the decisions about where new industries will locate. We wanted Secretary Lightsey and his staff to know that we here in Williamsburg County are here and we're ready to do business. We had a very good turnout at this meeting and received very positive feedback from the attendees. We've been working very closely with our Economic Development Director and the Economic Development Board to make sure that we try to get good jobs here for our residents. Our next supper is in May, and the Honorable James Clyburn Jr. will be our special guest. Future guests might include Governor McMaster, Senator Lindsey Graham, and Senator Tim Scott. We ask that you stay tuned for that information. In January, we also began monthly meetings with our department heads and our elected officials. These monthly meetings help us to identify the needs of each department and office and provides us opportunities to create strategies to address the needs of our county. We're also able to address other issues such as overtime, fuel use, personnel concerns, budget issues, and other issues. I want to also take this opportunity to thank the department heads and the elected officials for their cooperation thus far. There's also been an announcement about some major parks and recreation investments along the Black River here in Williamsburg County. I've always believed that the Black River was an untapped resource for us and our county, and the state and federal government are now investing millions of dollars into parks along the Black River in both Williamsburg and Georgetown counties. It is our belief that this investment will promote tourism within our community, and there could be also possibilities for small businesses to benefit from this investment. We're excited and we look forward to this project. In addition, we've also created great working relationships with our neighboring counties. I've had the pleasure of meeting with the administrators of each neighboring county, and they all have been extremely resourceful and helpful. I would like to publicly thank each of them for their assistance, but most importantly, their listening ears. We've also begun the process of creating a strategic plan for the county. As I explained to one of our coworkers a time ago, we need a roadmap for success. The Waccamaw Council of Governments is assisting us with this venture. We will keep you posted on the progress of this much-needed project. There will be little to no cost to the county for the Waccamaw Council of Governments to assist us with this project. We thank Sarah Smith and her staff for all of their assistance thus far. They, too, have been great partners and are committed to see that Williamsburg County is successful. Our fiscal year 2024 budget process is in process as we speak. We are working hard to create a budget that will be more aligned with our actual revenues. We're carefully reviewing all budgets to include personnel, equipment, and appropriations. We were advised early on that the budget was in a deficit, and we've been working very hard to overcome that deficit. We will have to make some very difficult decisions this year as it relates to our operating budget. I am pleased to report, though, that this county supervisor and this county council are extremely engaged in this process. We will be working together as a team to create an operating budget for our county for success and not survival. If we want what other counties have, then we will have to make the sacrifices that other counties have had to make. We cannot continue to do the same things that we've been doing and expect a different result. As I explained to someone yesterday, just because we've always been a certain way doesn't mean that we have to remain that way. We have people that are willing to help us move forward, but we must be willing to help ourselves. We've gotten great advice in the past, but we didn't listen, and we're now paying the price for not following that advice. It does us no good to bring great financial minds together and ask them for their guidance and wisdom, and then we don't do what they've advised us to do. It's the equivalent of asking your doctor to help you get well, but you don't follow his advice and counsel. If we keep doing the same thing that we've been doing, we're going to keep getting the same results. As I prepare to close, I want to also take this opportunity to publicly thank our team, the Williamsburg County Council, all elected officials and appointed officials, department heads, and all of the employees with Williamsburg County. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, and God bless you for what you do for Williamsburg County. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Senator Sapp and Representative Roger Kirby. They have been great partners and have been eager to assist us every step of the way. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Governor McMaster and his staff for their assistance thus far. Many of you will agree that Congressman Clyburn has gone over and beyond the call of duty to always be there for Williamsburg County, and I want to thank him and his staff as well. I also ask that you keep our former county supervisor, Stanley Paisley, in your prayers as he recovers from some health challenges. I talk with him often, and he's very thankful for all of our thoughts, well wishes, and prayers. In addition, former Councilwoman Jeannie Brown Burrows had a heart transplant a while back and is in the Maryland, D.C. area with her daughter in rehab. We ask that you keep both of them in your prayers. In the next few weeks, we will be hosting town hall meetings within the 7 council districts. I encourage you to come out and meet with us and let us hear your concerns. During those times, we will provide you with more detailed information about our plans moving forward. Folks, the office of county supervisor is your office. This office belongs to you, the citizens of Williamsburg County. I represent you, and I am humbled that you have selected me to serve you. I want each of you to know today that we are committed to making Williamsburg County a better place for all of its residents. The people of this county deserve better, and we must do everything we can to make sure that this happens for them. As I said last year, together we can do better. Each of us working together for the betterment of this community is what it's going to take for us to take this county to the next level. That is my hope, and that is my dream for us to move this county forward. It is my hope that we can focus more on our commonalities and spend less time focusing on our differences. We must remain focused on the betterment of our beloved county and, most importantly, the betterment of our beloved citizens. I commit myself and every resource at my disposal at the local, state, and federal levels to move this county forward. Williamsburg County, together, we can do better. I thank you for your time and attention today. God bless you. God bless your homes and families, and God bless our beloved county of Williamsburg and all of its residents. Thank you.